Alright. So, I have successfully been up for 36 hours. I just couldn't go to sleep last night. I don't know why. Sometimes it just happens. But, so I got the, single modular lever in today from, I forgot where that actually came from. I know it came from back east somewhere, but that guy actually did ship priority. He shipped in a cute little package too. It was like a little tool die, like box. Worked perfect because the lever just barely fit in there, and it was like double compact cardboard, so it was like extra firm. I actually took a nice heavy knife to actually got all the tape off. So, I mean, even though when I opened it up, I was expecting to take the bushings out and replace the bushings, so I had a spare set for modular, and that was gonna be it. Nah, somebody thought it would be a great idea and take the hardware off this fucking thing and then replace it with fucking the hardware from I don't know where. It doesn't match. Like the modular lever was actually really ahead of its time, because even though Odyssey didn't advertise it to be done, you could literally flip that lever and it would work on both sides. And it didn't have, like other levers, if you flip them upside down, they have cutting issues to your hands. These usually don't, because of the fact that basically everything's recessed on them. And they're a clamp, and none of the bolts are actually sticking out. It had a crown bolt on one side that has a little tiny, like, metal cap on it, so that was like sticking way the fuck out, and I ended up having to go through a bunch of metric nuts and bolts to actually like find something that would actually fit it. But that being said, I couldn't find the right diameter, and from what I understand, that modular lever used a machine bolt. So basically there was only so much thread on it, and then the neck on it was actually a lot bigger than the thread. And that's, if you just threw a bolt in there, the whole fucking lever would just rattle around. So I did what any sane person would do. Stop bitching and complaining and figured out a fucking solution. So I went into my mountain bike track box, and I cut a little tiny piece of Shimano brake bleed hose, and just basically spun that the nut bolt nut whatever, I get those mixed up, but I spun it in and then set it onto the new bushings. Yeah, I'm fucking on like, if I was a V8, I'm running on 3. So I'm having a hard time thinking right now. To my surprise, it actually worked. It spaced it out just enough, and because it wasn't a silicone-based line, because it's used for not brake fluid, but baby fluid, whatever, mineral oil. It has to be a urethane, so it ended up not like chafing internally, and it actually grabs the bushings, so that the bushings are actually like, they're kind of like moving around, but they're not. So, because the worst case scenario, it grabs the bushings and the bushings move around on the aluminum. You don't want that, because then the bushing is actually going to fucking eat away at the aluminum. Because remember, the aluminum's actually a lot lighter material than the bushing. So I got it kind of moving a little bit, and I also have this internal rubber bushing thing that I made out of hose, it's kind of coasting a little bit as well. I might take it apart and actually lube it up. I'm not sure. I still want to see how the levers are actually going to work, because for the life of me, for the last 20 years, I've actually wanted modular levers, like, since they first came out, and I finally actually had the opportunity to actually own some. So the right side is a brand new lever, the left side is the used one that looks like it's been through war and back. But flipped upside down, you can't see all the scratches and shit that are on it. So that being said, the bike actually looks kind of proper at the handlebar level. I also put some lizard skin grips on. These aren't the lock-ons. These are the ones that BMX guys in on the racetracks actually use. They're you put an adhesive tape around the bar, and then you use a lubricant of sorts, and they recommend like window cleaner. That's pretty much what I used. I was just like, I don't know, I'll just follow the instructions. Not gonna make my own cake on this one. So I sprayed it all down, and they slipped right on, perfect. And then they locked, and they're a good. They are definitely good. I like the way they feel, because I'm a big fan of foam grips, and that's what the base of these are made out of. And then they put a mat over it of rubber, and it's thin rubber, but it's hard. So from what I understand and from what I was told, the reason why I got sold on these is, even though they last forever, they're not like the gum rubber grips that anybody that runs the gummy grips, you know, the really, really soft ones, know that they only last for a season, if that. If you're a really hard rider, you'll go through grips like every single fucking month. But these are very, very pliable, and you can use them barehanded or with gloves, and they just repel water because they have a rubber surface on them, and the rubber surface actually reacts with the water and makes them more stickier. So all in all, like, I got my foam grips on the bike, and because of the fact that they have rubber on them as well, it kind of like, it's a catch-22, and it makes me happy. And they're low profile too, and they're not lock-on grips, so I don't have to worry about cutting my fucking hands. That's the one thing that most people don't understand about lock-on grips is, yeah, on mountain bikes they're really great because the majority of people actually use fucking gloves. So if you actually end up slipping your hand off the grip, you don't cut your fucking hand on the locks. Because the way that they machine them, there's a cut in it, and there's two bolt holes. There's the threaded side, and then there's the reset side, and those areas are actually really fucking sharp. And who the hell is going to basically, like, before they put their lock-ons, go through and file and sand the thing down so it's a, you know, more gentle on their hands? No, the majority of people that are buying lock-on grips are kids, and they just don't understand. The next thing you know, they're riding barehanded, and they cut the shit out of their fucking hands. You know, yo, man, I need them North Shores on my fucking 20-inch. That is actually a really fucking good grip, especially if you got gloves on, because they're lock-ons. Of all the lock-on grips I've ever owned, those North Shores are, fuck, they're really good. They're like, you can squeeze down on them. And they absorb a lot of impact. The headset looks like it's coming in on Monday. I know today's Monday. When I say Monday, I mean next Monday. Boo. Hey, hopefully it comes in on Friday or Saturday. I'd love to get this fucking video on. Because doing these videos in the car, it's just to get me by. And it's just to get my ideas out there. And see, this is the one thing that most people don't understand. is a lot of YouTubers would, I mean, even back in the day, that were idea guys, they would get on and they weren't so much showing an idea for you to take in. They were showing an idea to perceive it in a different way when they watched that video back and they criticized themselves. I'm one of those people. That's the only reason why basically in the last couple of days I've been fucking just motor mouthing like crazy. I got a lot of shit on my fucking mind and it's clouding certain progresses that I have to deal with. And on top of that, going from being a full-fledged like heavy line mechanic for automotive for eons and then switching over to straight up medical, that was a life-changing situation. A lot of schooling involved, there was a lot of thinking involved, and I'm still mentally recovering from all of the fucking shit that I had to take in. So on top of that, I'm doing this and I need to get the shit out. So watch the video. If you don't, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not making money off of this. I keep on posting these videos up, not kid friendly. I know I'm not going to get revenue from it. And I am totally against AdSense or whatever the hell they call it now. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, back in my electric days, I was a YouTube partner. And I mean, with my subscribers, it doesn't look like that anymore, but it was the heyday of YouTube. It was just like IG whores. Like, you could get onto a side service and basically dish out money, and that's what a lot of guys were doing. Like, a lot of major YouTubers were doing. You actually watch it in their stats where basically they had subscribers and video watches, because you could buy both. They had subscribers, video watches, and all of a sudden they'd fucking spike. And then you'd go and watch what the hell they posted when they spiked, and it wasn't any content that actually, you know, was meaningful to actually get a spike. So you know they were hitting a brick wall, so they basically paid out to get, you know, subs and everything. So needless to say, what YouTube did was it took about 1.5 years of that bullshit to go down, and then they were like, all right, we got to go through and tag every single one of these fake accounts, because that's what these industries were using. They would have like a 100-man crew, and that's all they did all day long was make fake ass accounts. And you didn't have to post a video, just like you don't have to post a video today, and you'd have a YouTube account. And then you could go in there, and then every single one of those accounts went into a server, and the server would program the accounts to, you know, like certain stuff and to subscribe to certain people for a paid price. Well, YouTube went in and actually found a way of actually triggering these accounts, and when they didn't feed back, YouTube was like, yeah, that's a fake account, and they dropped them. Well, that was a really great idea and everything, but meanwhile, YouTube actually destroyed, I think it was 25% of legal accounts on YouTube, because of the fact that either people were on trips, and, you know, back in those days, Wi-Fi wasn't that big of a deal, so, you know, you only had Wi-Fi at your house, and it was shitty Wi-Fi. So if you're on a trip or away from your house, or you're at school, or this, that, and the other things, and those triggers happened, you didn't respond, your fucking shit got shut down. And I lost a lot of subscribers from that. I lost a lot of viewers as well. Because, you know, somebody basically smacks the back of your hand that hard, you're like, fuck it, it's not worth it. And the majority of those people, basically, they probably came back, but they're not subscribing to people anymore. So the way that algorithms work now, basically, all you have to do is just watch 10 fucking videos on YouTube, and all of a sudden now it's just basically automatically throwing that kind of shit in your feed. You could tell by it because of the fact that you got your power bars on the top of your feed to actually select what shit you actually want to watch. Like if I want to watch BMX, I just go up there and I click BMX, and a bunch of fucking shit that I don't subscribe to fucking pops up. But yeah, that was back in the heyday of actually when I was actually a partner. And then that shit happened, and they offered me an AdSense program, and I took the AdSense program up until 2009. I think it was 2009. And I wasn't doing anything with my account. Like, my account was technically, theoretically dead from 2005 to about 2009. I posted a lot of videos, but they weren't anything basically that was on the genre of my account. My account was always electric bikes, and I started dabbling in other things, and I would fucking throw it on there. I had video, I was like, fuck it, I can just put it there and I can save it. So that's what I did, and now I'm here. I am here at this point in time, and I'm posting videos about BMX. So again, the fucking rotates. And I know it's not electric or anything, but I really honestly wish I posted videos on the PK Ripper that I converted to electric. That was actually a fun bike. It had a rear hub motor, and I had another hub motor that I was going to run in the front of it, and I had 60 volts of 12 volt gel cells like hanging on the top tube, and it was fucking fast. That thing did like 45 miles an hour. It was heavy as shit, and even though I had 110 psi tires on there and I ran them at like 80, it would blow tires out of it left and right. And occasionally I'd snap spokes on those hub motors, even though they were motorcycle spokes. It was just like that. It was a very abusive bike. But of all bikes to do it to, it was a PK Ripper. Fucking A. It was it wasn't an old one. It was like it was a mid school. It was I think that one was a 2004, maybe 2005. But yeah, I really do wish I actually like did a video feed on that one. I think I got videos of some of the build on YouTube, maybe. But like the majority of the bigger bike stuff that I did was I think it was a Razor 350, because the 550 I gutted that for another project, because I made that bike for a friend of mine that got out of jail, and he didn't want to get rewarded for getting out of jail, and I was just like, nah, dude, it's supposed to make you happy. And so he gave it back to me, and I just had no will or want to actually fuck with it anymore, so I basically gutted it. And some of those parts actually went on the 350. Actually, I think the disc brakes went on the 350, if I'm not mistaken. So all said and done, the YouTube channel pretty much now is probably going to be basically BMX related. And even though I've had a hot spell of basically posting like every fucking night pretty much, it's going to end shortly soon, and then it'll be like kind of spread apart like everybody else. I'm just basically bored right now, and I have a lot on my mind, and this actually helps a lot. Like, this little camera here is my psychologist pretty much, but I don't got to pay it shit. It's great. And then I get to be my own psychologist by watching it. Or you guys can too. It's like, you know, that guy's a fucking crazy dude. But, so once the headset comes in, not the headset, the stem comes in, fucking next Monday. fucking bullshit. Then yeah, I'm gonna basically do a write-up really quick on how I'm actually gonna do the build-up of the bike. I'm gonna do it in a strategic way. It's not gonna be basically like I'm not gonna edit. It's gonna be a raw video. One camera, fucking whole build. I might move the camera around. It's gonna get jostled a little bit during the video, but that's it. I don't want to edit. I don't have the time for it anymore, and I don't have the patience to do it anymore. It's gotten way too fucking technical, and on top of it, the video files that we were doing back in the day of early YouTube, they were tiny. We were actually compressing them. Now, you can basically send YouTube an 8K video feed, and they'll take it. And all of my cameras do like 4K and 8K. So it's like, I don't have the computer capability of fucking editing that kind of video. So hence, just post the video. So I gotta look at it like this: is I gotta make a road trip with this bike build and strategically make it so I don't have that many stops. You get what I'm saying? I got to make it as simple as possible. So basically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and not jump around. And obviously talk about the preventative on all the pieces as I'm doing them. I might get another pair of pedals. I don't know. The ones that I got on the bike right now are already beat to shit. They still work. They're just a little bent, but they're bent enough that like my titanium rods on the other bike, like those rotate flat, and you get that's the one thing. Like you hop on somebody else's bike, and they don't know it, but like, dude, your bars are bent. You're like, what? Like, yeah, like fucking, it feels like it's fucking completely whack. And or you definitely pick up on their pedals. Pedals and bars are the easiest thing to pick up on. Or crank bearing vibration, which most people that own the bike, they basically have gotten used to as it's progressively gotten worse. It's kind of like the Humpty with the loud ass stereo, you know. Just turn it up louder, you don't hear the knock. So I'm gonna go through all that shit, and I'm probably 70% sure that I'll probably be using those same pedals for now, that is. But because they're bent, there's nothing I can do. I mean, they're not bent enough that like I gotta worry about them fracturing or anything, but they got a small little tiny bend, and the end caps are fucking blown out on one. So all in all, they're not pretty, but they kind of match the bike because the bike ain't pretty either. So I'm gonna get onto that, and just like I said yesterday, and basically do a re-grease on everything properly, and then post the video. And that'll be it. I think I need to get another GoPro mount for my open face, but once I take the bike out like 3 or 4 times, I'll take the GoPro with the full face and be the full face guy at the concrete park, which theoretically, like basically anybody that's riding a BMX at a fucking skate park, they should be wearing a full face. And I'm a strong believer currently that like any action sports right now, you should be wearing fucking jaw protection. Like open face and wearing a goddamn fucking mouthpiece. Because like I've fractured so many fucking teeth over the years from BMX. And like I was watching one of the family mountain bike channels on YouTube and Instagram for a while there, like last year, and um, one of the guys' kids had dental surgery done recently, so their teeth were still a little bit, jaded from the whole situation. So they had the kid wear a mouth guard, or yeah, mouth guard. And I like reached out to the mother, and I'm like, that's a great idea. And next thing you know, basically everybody else in the fucking family is wearing a mouth guard as well. And sure as shit, like it was like 2 months into the fucking season, and I think the father PM'd me back on Instagram, and he's like, dude, that really saved so and so's like jaw from basically exploding teeth. Because one of his boys basically like went down, and even though he was wearing a full face, it rocked him hard enough that he felt his jaw clench up really hard. And yeah, in those situations, usually you fracture teeth, and they might not instantaneously break out, but you get cavities in a matter of like 6 months after that, because shit gets inside those cracks, and then the fucking tooth is just gone. And 99% of the time when that happens, if it's not caught fast enough, they're pulling the fucking tooth and probably having to put an implant in, which is out of pocket, usually $800 to $1,200. It matters what they're gonna do. But yeah, so that would probably be a good idea to do a mouth guard. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go upstairs and hit the hay. See if I can actually. I'm fucking drinking coffee right now. But hey, sometimes that's what I need when I'm going through insomnia. I don't suffer from it, but occasionally the mind goes racing, and I don't fucking go to bed. Like, it's not like I go lay down, I can't go to bed. I just don't go to bed. I get stuck doing shit, and I'm just fucking running loops around the house. I could have went to the gym today, but I'm very, very like held back on going to the gym for the last couple weeks. Especially about a week ago when I had to get my secondary flu shot for the hospital because of the fact that I didn't have the paperwork on the first one. So don't get 2 flu shots. The second one fucking hurts. Like, it went in the shoulder. Like, this whole shoulder was fucked up for about 2 days, and then the pain just went fucking all the way to my center of my rib cage. It literally felt like I popped like two ribs out of my sternum. Like, that's the kind of pain it was actually giving me. But it was all it didn't feel like it was in the bone. It was definitely in the fucking muscle tissue. Like, my pec was like all fucked up. So I've been dealing with that too. So like, I'm not going to go to gym when I got a fucking hurt pec, because 3/4 of the shit that you do at the gym when you're lifting weights, believe it or not, your pecs are involved. They might not be completely involved, but your pecs are very important to arm movement, and most people don't even understand it. Same thing with your back muscles a little bit. It matters the motion, but the thing is basically like, you're not isolating it, but it's there for a split second. So if it's there for a split second and it engages this pec, I'm fucked. Because that's like, basically, if your muscles are hurt, you don't want to fucking use them, because that's how you get tears and pulls. Because it's already like, it doesn't want to do shit. It's a hardened up rubber band. But yeah, we're at 30 minutes. I'm gonna fucking call it a night. You guys have a wonderful day or a wonderful night, whatever. I'm gonna go and sleep like 12 hours. Yay! And God, I want to make that video. Oh, well, I guess I'll make fucking 5 more of these. Or maybe 6 more. Hell, maybe even 7 more. I don't know. Matters when it comes in. But, well, it is what it is. Alright, talk to you guys later.